love booty.
Tugboat Dispatch, episode number 22. I'm sorry, Josh. I did not mean to play that drop right there as we came back in. That wasn't intentional, I swear.
No, that's not like, don't lie to me. How do you accidentally press that button?
Because where the open is right next to the Josh I Love Booty, and it was just a little too close to the Josh I Love Booty. But either way, Duckboat Dispatch, episode number 22. Josh is here, Sarah is here, and the New England Patriots are number one in the AFC East. It has been a long time since the Pats were on top of the AFC East, but they are so back. We'll get into that. We're going to quickly recap that Saints game, look ahead of the Tennessee Titans game, but we're going to get more into what's the reason the Pats are back so fast. Like, what is the main reason that this rebuild has moved so fast compared to where they were last year? And how do they keep that momentum going? Who should they go out there and target before the trade deadline? The Bruins' hot start keeps going. They're 3-1. They got a game against the Golden Knights tonight. And on Tuesday at TD Garden, a reunion with one Brad Marchand, who will be coming back to the Garden for the first time as a Florida Panther. And the Celtics play real basketball next week. They start their season on Wednesday, and we have to talk about when Jason Tatum will return, because I think it's going to be very, very soon. So we'll get into all of that. Side note, before we get into all that stuff, and before Sarah sets the tone, the Celtics coaches playing the Celtics media staff in a game of basketball was the greatest thing I've ever seen on Twitter. The fact that Joe Mazzulla, at the end of his interview, when the media was like, hey, you're going to stick around for the media versus media game that they usually play. And he goes, yeah, by the way, you're not playing each other. You're playing the coaches. And then they dropped them off 57-4, was just hilarious to see. I love Joe Mazzulla, the psycho that he is. And I'm just thankful I wasn't on that team because that looked bad. And props to them for playing like champions. But now that I got that out the way, Sarah, set the tone for the show, please.
I'm not going to talk about the Patriots. I just want to mention I'm pretty sure I'm like 0-5 or 0-6 for fantasy, so I'm not. I don't care anymore. I should have won this week. I was against someone who had two people that were playing that had buys, and they didn't move them. So it was like they had two people that just automatically got 0, and I still lost because not a single person except Drake May and Derrick Henry got over 10 points, and I don't know. I'm projected to win this week. Who knows? I don't care.
Is there a punishment in your league, or is it just for fun?
No, it's just for fun.
Okay.
I think like they joked about like shaving your head, and I'm like, yeah, that's not.
Sarah's gonna be bald
over my dead body. Also, Xander would just not allow that. He doesn't even like when I cut like half an inch off my hair. So,
Josh, why are you hiding?
He's doing something.
Oh, I was gonna say Josh is half in the frame of his own
No,
camera.
When it pops up on the whole thing, on the YouTube, the whole thing can see me. You just can't see the little graphic on the on our screens. You can see me though.
But the thing I really wanted to talk about was the Kansas City Chiefs, because I'm so sick of people comparing Patrick Mahomes to Tom Brady. First of all, Tom Brady could take a hit and get right back up and start another play. Patrick Mahomes takes someone like touches him or brushes by him, and it's like watching a fucking European soccer game. He flops, and then he's looking at the ref and he's like, "Where's my flag? Where's my flag?" And then another thing is how people compare Travis Kelce to Gronk. Sorry, don't see it. Like, yeah, they're both big guys. They're both tight ends. That's it. That is literally it. But the thing I really, really get pissed off about is that they just compare and they say, oh, the Chiefs are going to have a dynasty like the Patriots. Sorry, but they're not. They're 3-3 right now, and honestly, they should be 2-4. Or no, 2-3. No, yeah, 2-4. They should be 2-4 right now. Because the Lions should have won that game. There is no way that there was not a single penalty called on the Chiefs that game. There's no way. And that is one of the major differences between the Patriots dynasty and the Chiefs dynasty. The refs hated us. Hated us. We got called. We had every single, I would say like the majority of the games we played, we had more penalties called on us. Anytime we needed something to go our way, it usually didn't. Even though the other team was blatantly in the wrong. So just this last game, Travis Kelce held people probably 2 out of 3 plays. Never got flagged. And honestly, the refs were kind of being like, there was a video where Travis Kelce was caught telling the ref not to throw a flag or something, and he went like this. And I guess he didn't throw it, or like he did throw it, and then he didn't throw it. And then they took that first touchdown back that the Lions got after they had already walked off the field. They called it, and then everyone went off. And then upstairs, apparently phoned down and was like, hey, that actually wasn't a touchdown. When it was. Like, yeah, he lost control of the ball, but then he got it back. He regained control. Never dropped it, never touched the ground. He just didn't have full control of it. And then he went into the end zone. So I'm just kind of sick of people saying, like, oh, the Chiefs are just like the Patriots. The Chiefs are going to have a dynasty like the Patriots. No, they're not. Because you can't have the refs in your back pocket helping you win games. That's not fair. That's all.
That's your piece? Yeah, it was a super weird penalty. They set up like the PAT. I mean, the refs were awful last week in general, especially in that Patriots game. They were terrible. I mean, that was one of the worst officiating crews I've ever seen. But it was just super weird the way they scored, celebrated. The PAT team was out there, and then the refs threw the flag and say illegal motion on Jared Goff. Yeah. I think is who they called it on, which is super. I get it was a trick play. Just really weird circumstances, and it was also that was just the 12th time since 2019 that there was 0 flags called on a team, and 3 out of those 12 have all been the Kansas City Chiefs. So they do get the favor of the whistle. When you're on top, you get the benefit of the whistle. I don't necessarily agree the Patriots didn't always get I mean, they got a lucky whistle throughout their dynasty. The tuck rule was a lucky whistle. The one that started the whole dynasty, that was a lucky whistle. Yes, it was in the rule book, but most of the time that had been called a fumble up to that point in the NFL. And then even at the end of the dynasty, to bookend it, Tom Brady gets lucky with that. I believe it was whoever the linebacker was in the Chiefs in that AFC Championship game was lined up offside on the far side of the play on a game-ending interception he threw to the other team trying to hit Gronk. And the ball was just too high for Gronk. So I don't want to say that they never got the benefit of the whistle. And I'm sure if we went back, there are games that they definitely did.
I'm not saying that they never got, like, that the penalties never went their way. I'm just saying they usually were the team that was being flagged.
I felt that usually it was in the big games, the most insane plays would happen against the Patriots, like the helmet catch in 07, or the Victor Cruz toe tap on the end. Toe tap, or even in the Falcons Super Bowl, which they won.
Yeah.
Julio Jones had one of the greatest catches I've seen in my entire life on the near sideline in the fourth quarter. And the Falcons just nearly completely blew the game. But even then, like those insane plays in the Seahawks Super Bowl, the ball that bounced off of I believe it was Curse's, like all 4 of his extremities, both of his arms and legs, and he still caught it on the play that got them inside the red zone before Malcolm Butler picked it off. They definitely had a lot of those plays go against them. But they definitely had their fair share of plays go for them. Malcolm Butler's interception.
Yeah.
Vinatieri's field goal in the snow.
The Julian Edelman foot catch.
Yeah, Jules catching it off of like
some guys
this close to the ground in 51. So it all goes around and comes around, but the refs do need to be better. I will agree with you on that. They have to be better.
They just not better, but just be fair.
Be consistent might be the right word. Yeah. Consistent might be the way to do it, but I don't hate it. Big story for the week so far, Sarah. I don't hate it at all, and it was super relatable because the Pats refs were terrible. They were terrible.
I really felt like the dynasty was back
with the Pats game.
Yeah, with the way they were calling the game.
Drake May got hosed on like 100 extra yards in that game, but he
threw a beautiful catch on like a 3rd and long
to Booty
Diggs. No, it was to Diggs.
And then got called back.
And then it got called back for pass interference on the offense.
Yeah, those are the 2 takeaways I have from that game.
He gently put his hand on the guy's shoulder. He didn't push him. He didn't grab him. His hand was flat.
Yeah.
And the guy
Those are the
move. I don't know. It just that. How is that pass interference?
those are the I mean, Pats win 25-19 over the Saints last Sunday. Those were the only two things I had to take away from that game. Well, maybe three things I took away from that game. Like the refs were terrible. Drake May is him. He is so good. He is so good. He is so like God. I'm so happy we have him.
I just need him to keep going.
Yep, just keep it up. I'm sure he'll have a bad game at some point.
Don't let it go. Yeah, I mean everyone does.
Yeah, but he's on fire. He's on fire. And kind of adjacent to that point, I wish Josh McDaniel's play calling was kind of getting on my nerves that game because the Saints safeties couldn't contain them deep. They should have just been throwing every ball deep. Instead of like a first and whatever, and then it becomes second and long, just fire that sumbitch deep at the start of the just start off the drive. The safeties had nothing over the top on Pop Douglas, Booty, and Diggs. They should have just done that.
Diggs down there somewhere.
Yeah.
Literally just huck it down there. I mean, they had nothing. They could not stop the Patriots passing attack deep in that game whatsoever. The run game is atrocious as well. I think the running game had 70 total yards, and 30 of those are Drake May. So you're telling me Henderson and Stevenson combined for 40 some odd yards? I mean, I guess positive Stevenson didn't fumble this week, but having 40 yards out of your two backs is a problem that they need to figure out as well, because coming in the colder months, especially gonna have some ugly weather games in New England, I'm sure, and elsewhere. If you want to be a legitimate contender and you want to win playoff games, which is where this team is right now, is number one in the AFC East. They have, as of today, right now, as of this recording, they have a bye in the playoffs, I'm pretty sure. Or if not, they at least have a home game. They have a home game, which means one of those games is played in New England.
I think it's a home game. I think technically they would be the 4th seed, and then the Bills
would be playing the Bills.
Yeah, at home in Gillette.
I don't like
it.
No, the Colts have the bye.
The Colts have the bye. I apologize. I forgot about the Colts. But still, either way, if they want to win playoff games, you have to be able to run the ball.
Ideally, what I need is the Bills to keep losing, the Jags keep winning, so the Jags hit that 5th seed, we stay 4th seed, and then we get a home game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I can go.
And if you look ahead of the schedule, Titans this week, I believe Browns next week, and Falcons week after that. And the Falcons game after they blew the doors off of Buffalo looks a little bit tougher than what we previously thought, but still 9-4 is on the 10-3, 9-4 is on the table.
And what was my prediction at the beginning of the season? Asshole.
I believe that footage has been lost.
That I was.
What's this piece of paper here? Our predictions from the beginning of the season.
Josh just picked that out of his ass.
Share, Josh, please.
Can't, man. Like, I lost it for some reason. Like, I don't know what happened to it. I don't know what happened to it.
Long short, that was a blank piece of paper. I was the only person that had faith in my team, and these two nitwits were saying like, "Oh, they're gonna be 3-10."
I had them at 7-10, and they're 4-2 right now. They have matched their last two seasons' previous win totals already.
You had them 9-8.
I had them 9-8.
Yes,
I had them like 10 and something.
I thought I had them 7-10. But hey, shut up me. I thought I did better. But that's a really good segue because they are, Sarah, they're looking closer to your prediction than my prediction right now.
Hey, I'd be.
I'm thinking, and I kind of want to kick this idea around a little bit between us before we get to some possible trade targets.
What
do you think is the biggest reason? And we'll start with you, Josh, because I haven't heard your beautiful voice enough today. What's the biggest reason for the Pats' success? Like, what is the reason that they have turned from last year being one of the worst teams in the league? They won 4 total games last year through the entire season, and now 6 weeks through the season, they've won 4 games. What is in your opinion, Josh, the biggest reason they have turned this ship around?
If we're going the biggest, I have 2 reasons, but if we're going the biggest, I think it's simply Drake May. And the reason I say that is because, to me, there hasn't been that elevated step for the rest of the offense. The wide receiver room is still a mess. We don't really have like that star running back. I really want it to be Henderson, but it's not. Hunter Henry is still like the number 1 receiver on the team despite being a tight end.
Love
The O
it.
line is still mid to trash, despite
Actually, the
Bill
O-line's
Campbell.
been one of the most productive position groups on the team.
Yeah, I'm saying like it's mid to
Or
low.
consistent would be the word
Yeah,
word I should
mid to
use.
low because we've seen them be good, but then we've also seen slip ups as well. The one thing of this offense that has really what are you doing?
He's making
Messing
fun.
with Sara.
The one piece of this offense that really has taken that elevated step is simply Drake May. When
Mhm.
I'm looking at every single piece of offense we have, and that was our biggest concern last year, is that we couldn't score more than 10 flipping points. Not literally, but figuratively.
2 touchdowns a game was a blessing last year.
Pretty much. When I'm looking at the offense, the one piece that elevated the most this season is simply Drake May. And it's that simple to me. It's just saying that Drake May took this step forward and he has a rocket strapped to him right now. And he's going to the moon, baby.
I agree with you, but I'm gonna say Mike Vrabel
That was my other reason.
because he's come in being a veteran of the Patriots. He's come in and he has, I can't think of the right word, but he has like instilled this kind of faith in these guys. He has made them work better together. And for once, I feel like they're actually like connected and like cohesive, and they're a group, they're a team. Whereas in the last couple of seasons under Mayo, even honestly, even under Bill, and that hurts me to say because I love him, but I
Not
feel
as
like
much as Jordan, but yeah.
no, thank you.
Down.
Shut up. But I just feel like Vrabel has like taken this like group of guys that can work very well together and has shown them that they're capable of it. And also I kind of want to shout out like the special teams, especially like the punt return. They're great. I think they're playing really well. But I also feel like Vrabel has instilled this confidence in May and given him the support and pretty much everything that he needs to be possibly one of the greatest quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah, I don't think you can. He's number 6 in MVP voting right now in the entire league. I think statistically he is a top 5 quarterback in the league right now if you look at all of the statistics and whatnot. And I'm not a numbers guy. I hate numbers, so I'm not one to look at those. Sarah and I were in the same stats class, and Sarah didn't go when I watched Harry Potter. So that shows you how much we love numbers in this podcast.
That I was like, wait, we were. Because
Yeah, you just never showed up.
I just never went.
Yeah, Sarah would not go, and I watched Harry Potter.
Tom's like not paying attention, class, his head's down. The teacher calls him, Avada Kedavra, what?
Literally, the one day I paid attention was like bring your son to work day, and the teacher had her like 5-year-old son Kennedy in there, and that kid was watching the like Paw Patrol on his iPad, and that show is fire. So I was like, yo,
what did you call it?
Paw Patrol is fire.
I thought you called it the other thing.
No, head out of the gutter, and I was like, yo, big man, you come sit back next to me. You come sit back next to me. So there's like 5-year-old and I sat next to me. And then I answered a question in class. And she was like, how'd you get that? And I was like, Kennedy told me. And she was like, smart kid. How'd you really get it? I go, I have no clue how I got that answer. Kennedy, I was like, I was just trying to get out of that answer. I just threw a number out there and it was the right answer. So that was stats class. But for me personally, and while I agree with the both of you that Drake May becoming a top 5 quarterback in the NFL so far is a huge reason because he's elevating everybody around him. And Mike Vrabel coming in and changing the culture, getting rid of not his guys, bringing in pieces like Harold Landry, Milton Williams. He goes out and drafts Henderson, who hasn't been great, but he makes the big move. Even though he's not the GM, I credit him with all this, bringing in Stephon Diggs. I think the biggest reason they're playing so well this year is they've hit on their last... What's up?
If you say Stephon Diggs, I will call and scream and choke you out. Okay.
No. I think it's more the fact they've hit on their last 3 first-round draft picks. Gonzo's legit.
Yeah.
One of the best man-to-man cover safeties, corners in the league. Drake May's your guy. He's your franchise. And Will Campbell, your left tackle, the blind side, protecting Drake May, giving him time in the pocket, allowing him to roll out to his right and not feel bad, even though it's on the left side. You don't have to worry too much about that. I think just overall hitting on your last 3 draft picks, because think about it. You have drafted an elite corner, an elite quarterback, and looking like an elite offensive lineman. That's huge to hit on your last 3 draft picks. And you look at the years before that, the Cole Strange, the N'Keal Harry, who was the other bum that they drafted after Cole Strange?
Mm-hmm.
I
don't have my book.
His name's escaping me right now. But if you look back through those,
Yeah, I like Strange.
Cole Strange was terrible.
Wait, no, I'm thinking of a different Strange. Never mind.
I have to go back and look, but
there's a Strange, I think there's a Strange on the Jags, and that's why I think that's their tight end.
Like Brandon Strange or something like that.
Like him. That's what I was thinking.
But missing on your draft picks, especially your first overall draft picks, is such a bad thing in the NFL because they really can make or break a team. You look at the Commanders last year. They were only there because, they had good veterans and good coaching with Dan Quinn, and Cliff Kingsbury is an offensive guru, but Jaden Daniels led that team to the NFC Championship. 2 years ago, C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson Jr. changed that whole Texans team, and right now I know they're struggling, but they completely reroute their history, their future for that team. So bringing in guys like Gonzo, Meg, and Campbell, I think collectively they have helped change the entire building there because they elevate the statue of play there and the talent that you have in your building. So that's where I credit it. Yeah, Mike Vrabel's been awesome, and Drake May's been awesome. But hitting on your draft picks is why you're in the spot that you're in right now, more than anything else in my personal opinion. And they go silent because once again, I stun them with my ball knowledge.
No. So I do agree with you, but I have a completely different topic that uses your point against the topic I want to talk about, which we'll get into in a second.
All right, well, we'll get into that in a second, but that's what I think are the biggest reason. Absolutely, it's most likely combination of all three is really what the correct answer would be. But I think if you bounce around, what would be your biggest reason? The whole answer is what we just said. It's Drake May. It's Mike Vrabel. It's hitting on your draft picks. I think personally the biggest is the draft picks.
Can we also just touch on how the Patriots are likable? Not just by Patriots fans. People are watching Drake May and they're like, Drake May is being an absolute dog and he's beating the Bills. Go Drake May and the Patriots, when everyone was like, oh, we want the Patriots to burn to the ground. But now it's like,
everyone wants the Chiefs to
go.
Yeah, it comes and goes. Drake May it's the same thing when Patty Mahomes was his first year. It was, he's so much fun to watch, and now they hate him.
Not.
I was talking about in 2018 when he first came to the league. His first real season, his second season, but his first real season as the starting quarterback. When you're new, you're fun. So that's why everybody's on Drake May's side. He's new. He's a new fun toy.
He's not that new, though.
This is his second season. He's played under 20 NFL games, Sarah.
He hasn't even, I was going to say, he hasn't played a full season.
It's his third season.
No, a year ago now, he was getting his first start, I'm pretty sure. He would have been starting his second game.
Oh, Brissett.
Yeah, Jacoby Brissett, who played last week in St. Louis. Not St. Louis. What? The Cardinals. Where the hell are the Cardinals station out of?
Arizona.
Thank you. St. Louis Cardinals is a baseball team.
Yeah.
Anyways. But to keep this momentum going, the Patriots have some holes, and that's you can throw a dart at the board, and you'll find a position group that needs help at the Patriots.
Can I go first?
Who do you trade deadline coming up? Who do you want them to bring in, Sarah? What position, what player do you think they need to go and get? 2
things. I want A.J. Brown.
Yes.
I want him because he is a through and through Patriots fan. I like that. I like how excited he got when Julian Edelman sent him a jersey, how excited he got when Tom Brady sent him a jersey. I don't know if Gronk sent him one, but he probably jumped on the bandwagon and did too. But this man, he's a character. He's talented. And he's a fucking Patriots fan. Tell me one reason why we shouldn't take him. We can get him for 2 second round
He's unhappy is the big thing. He's unhappy.
He would be so happy here. And wasn't...
Sarah would make him happy.
No, I wouldn't. And be like,
Jordan would make him happy here.
Also, second,
Cardi B would make him happy here.
I need... Oh,
he has a wife and kids.
I was going to say...
What did you just say to me?
He said Cardi B. I feel like he has higher standards, though. He seems like a very wholesome man.
I have no clue what his dating life is like.
I don't either, but
I think he has a wife, and I think he has a daughter, I think.
I'll Google it.
I think he's got a daughter.
Also, my other rant, this has nothing. I should have added this in my fucking tone center or whatever. Abercrombie and Fitch needs to get more Patriots merch. They have this cute little tank top that I could totally wear to like a preseason game, and they don't have the fucking Patriots. They have the Eagles, the Lions, the Chiefs, and the Bengals.
Go to Fanatics.
Ew, no.
Hey, that's
And
my book.
They have dog hoodies, and they don't have the Patriots. I know, Mac. It's sinister. He just looked at me. That's why I said that.
Mm-hmm.
What am I?
But no, I absolutely agree with you, Sarah. Go get. I just because here's the thing. Say I don't know what it would cost you, but say it's
top search is AJ Brown Patriots.
Yeah,
that also goes.
What you've been searching. But on your point,
Steelers.
I think he'll be moved. I don't know where, but I think he'll be moved. Say you give up 2 second-round picks for AJ Brown.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, I'm not worried about losing those picks because what have you drafted with your second-round picks in the last 2 years? You've drafted Jalen Polk and Travion Henderson. Jalen Polk, who is, I believe, an Eagles player now, if I'm not mistaken. He's on an Eagles practice squad, if I'm not mistaken. And then you have Travion Henderson, who has not been what you were hoping to be so far. 6 games into his young his young NFL career. You're not giving me the finger. His young NFL career. I assumed you were just going to give me the finger. So go get a guy like AJ Brown, and then you have AJ Brown on one side. There's his family. Nice. Congratulations.
Family.
Huh?
That seems like a very wholesome family.
I would love them to become a Patriots family.
You know what? Me too. Come to Boston. I think they'd be happy there.
Well, the Patriots play in Foxborough. They would not live in Boston. They would live in Foxborough. Or they'd live in the Foxborough area.
They'd live in the surrounding area.
Yeah.
They could figure out that there's trees here, just like Will Campbell.
Honestly. That's not Will Campbell. That's Big Country now, bro. I don't know if you saw that. He's Big Country. Perfect nickname for Will Campbell, too, by the way. Drake May literally calls him Big Country. Which is funny because Drake May is also just a hick. So it's like the pot calling the kettle black. It's hilarious.
Carolina and Louisiana. Like
they're both literally like Carolina. It's awesome.
The New England Patriots play in the Northeast, but we play like we're in the Midwest.
I just want to point out Abercrombie has 4 things for the Patriots.
Do you only shop at Abercrombie?
No, but they're the only one. They have cute Patriots stuff. Maybe I should go to the men's section.
Maybe. So Sarah's going to continue shopping. And while I would also love AJ Brown because I think he's the best wide receiver out there you can get.
You want to say hi?
But if... Oh, hold on. Hello, Mac.
What do you think?
Mac, who do we think the Patriots should trade for?
He doesn't.
1 bark, AJ Brown.
2 barks.
2 bark, nobody.
No one.
He's sitting.
I don't want to see his butt, no disrespect.
For you.
Yeah, I don't need to see his rear end.
What do you think, bub? Here, pick that up. Talk to the people. No? His stomach hurts because he decided to eat a bag of chocolate chip cookies. Yeah. They're gone.
Mac ate them all.
And now I feel like I'm in a gas chamber because it smells so bad in here.
Well, that's one thing to say. And moving on. Now, I don't know if AJ Brown is really attainable. I hope he is. I just don't know if the Eagles will move him, especially after they extended him. So if you can't get AJ Brown, other receivers, because I wouldn't mind adding a receiver, because as much as last week Pop Douglas was sensational and Kayshon Boutte was really, really good, I still don't really trust them that much.
Not reliable.
Especially Pop Douglas.
They're too inconsistent.
Yeah. If you can go out and and I think it would help the run game if you go get an AJ Brown, because then you can't stack the box as much, because you want to drop back in coverage to defend guys like AJ Brown and Stephon Diggs. If you can't get AJ Brown, go get a Garrett Wilson, who looks very disgruntled on the 0-5 Jets. Go get a Chris Olave on the New Orleans Saints. Go get a guy like of that caliber, because I think Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson are both attainable, and they're both going to be cheaper, and I like what they bring to the team. They're young wide receivers. I would be very, very happy getting. Any wide receivers besides those 2, Josh, those 3 that I mentioned that I might have forgotten, like maybe Calvin Ridley. But Calvin Ridley didn't want to come here in free agency, so I wouldn't go trade for him.
My head didn't go to a receiver, but you said the Saints. What are your thoughts on Kamara?
I wouldn't be mad because I also think we need a better running back, because Stevenson's not cutting it, and I don't think Henderson's there yet. I just don't think he's there yet. So, especially with losing Gibson, too. I would take, because I think Kamara is what Henderson should eventually try to evolve into. That pass-catching type of back.
I'm trying to think of anyone else.
The Eagles?
Yeah, like 20 years ago.
Yeah, it was in 2005. He lost to the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Do you try?
Yeah.
What if you hit up Tampa? Because they got Egbuka. What if you got Godwin or Mike Evans?
Yes, he's. Wait, no, I want Egbuka.
Do they
They're not
they
going to
don't
trade
need all,
Ibuka
they don't need all
Why?
three of those guys.
because they
won't-
just drafted Ibuka.
Godwin, he's fucking injury.
I don't think they would trade. I don't think they would move either, especially because you got to think about it. You got to target teams that aren't contending. You got to target teams that aren't contending, or there's some sort of disgruntled issue that they just need to get somebody out of the building. Like the Eagles are contending for a Super Bowl, but AJ Brown's unhappy and disgruntled with the way he's being used. So maybe you move him and you promote Devontae Smith to your number. Devontae Smith becomes the guy and a very run-heavy offense. So you got to think like that. Chris Olave and the Saints. The Saints are going nowhere fast this year.
No.
Garrett Wilson and the Jets. They're going nowhere fast this year. The
They're
Titans and they're 0-5. I think they're going to be on. Are they 0-6? They're 0-5. 0-6. The Titans and Calvin Ridley. The Titans just fired their head coach already. The guy they brought into Blaze Rabel, they already fired. So you got to target teams like that are struggling, or there's some sort of unhappiness in the club, in the locker room.
Ready? I'll give you a guy who has both. Jalen Waddle.
I would be okay with Jalen Waddle. I'd be very okay with Jalen Waddle. I think if
Tyreek's out, Tua sucks. Coach sucks. Why am I blanking
McDaniel.
on McDaniel?
Because I think if McDaniel gets fired, they could very much fire sale that whole team right there to start the rebuild.
They could. I don't
And
think I don't think you get your hands on a guy like A-Chain, but Waddle I think is up for grabs.
Yeah, I would love A-Chain, but I don't think.
Coach AJ Brown.
Yeah, at the Titans they were together,
Right.
so there is that connection.
When did
So
he leave the Titans?
The GM traded him away to the Eagles, which there's a video on the draft day of Vrabel being
No.
pissed about that.
I meant Vrabel. When did Vrabel leave the Chiefs? No, Titans.
Bills last year, I think he got. Yeah, Bills last year. So 2 years ago, he got fired. He had the year off, and then, if I'm correct,
I was gonna say I don't remember him being in the league last year.
no, he wasn't.
Sorry, I'm starving.
No, you're good. Eat your pirate booty. So that's what you have to target. So Alvin Kamara, I would be very okay with. Another guy I think I would love to go get Breece Hall. I think he's being so underutilized with the New York Jets, and he is such a talented running back. I would love
Oh wait, are we talking running backs or wide receivers?
either or.
Both.
Trade
Anyone.
targets.
Garrett Wilson.
So Sarah, if you were paying attention,
No,
I had said Garrett Wilson.
I wasn't paying attention.
It's okay.
I admit I wasn't.
What about
No, it's fine.
a defensive guy? Because originally I wanted us in contention for Micah Parsons, but we never got there because our
Wasn't
GM
happening.
did it.
So
I
a
originally
guy we
wanted to be
talked
in that
about in the
contention.
offseason.
What about T. Higgins?
No, I don't want that bum on my team.
No, we've been through this before. But same team though.
Trey Hendrickson, I'd be very okay with breaking into the New England Patriots because what are the Patriots bad at defensively? They're not getting a lot of pressure when they bring four. They're just not. So you bring a guy like that in who can bring pressure when you get four, put him next to the milkman, Milton Williams. You have a very solid defensive line. And then you can still bring your corner blitzes with Landry, Gonzo, Duggar, if you will. But moving back to the secondary, now, I don't know who they bring in here, but bring in some sort of secondary depth. Now, if the Patriots would go out at the deadline and do something very similar to what the Red Sox do, instead of going out and getting like marquee talent, they go just get secondary pieces. I would be okay with that if they do that with the secondary. Because if you think about it, if Marcus Jones goes down, who's replacing him? If Carlton Davis goes down, who's replacing him? They have no depth in the second. Like, Sarah's bum ass going to go out there and play defense. I no disrespect to you, Sarah, but you're not an NFL safety. You're not an all-pro safety. Like, you're just not.
I also have no idea what to do.
Exactly. So I think you go get some sort of safety depth. Yeah. I think you just need some sort of safety depth back there. So with the NFL trade deadline, I believe is November 5th. It's one of those early November days, 3 weeks away. You have time. Go be aggressive and get something to boost your team. Because we've said it a ton this show. You are currently number one in your division. I think you'll make the playoffs this year, barring a total collapse. You have a chance to make a run. The AFC East is wide open this year. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are 500, but they're going to figure it out. I still think they're the favorite to take the AFC East because until somebody beats them in December and January, I'm still going to take them to go very far in the playoffs. And Lamar Jackson and the Ravens are a hospital right now. Like you go to Mass General, you're gonna see half the Ravens players in there, and then the Bengals are nowhere to be found because Joe Burrow's toe is broke. Joe Burrow can't walk. Whatever the hell is going on his foot? I don't know what the hell turf toe is. But the AFC East is wide open. The Bills got shelled by the Falcons and Michael Penis last week.
You gotta stop.
I'm never stopping with that.
Like tear all the ligaments in your foot, so he's out.
But I understand. It makes sense. We make a trade offer, get our conversation somewhere. I will make a prediction that nothing happens.
I think that's gonna happen too.
Simply because of one man, simply named Elliot Wolf as our GM. I am still a non-believer in Elliot Wolf. I don't want him as my GM. I would like him to leave or be fired. One of the two. I don't think he has made any move really, or enough moves to make me feel like, yeah, this guy is going to help build this team into a Super Bowl champion team, playoff contending team. But then, Tom, you brought it up earlier how, like the Patriots have hit on all their draft picks lately, on their first round draft picks. Gonzo, May, and Campbell. Let's look at the three of those decisions. Gonzo, first of all, that wasn't Elliot Wolf. That was when Belichick was still here. So that's Belichick's decision, not anyone else's. Drake May, that was an obvious pick. There was no other choice on that. Like, where else were you going to take? You were simply just going to take Drake May. So that takes no effort. A toddler could do that. Then you look at Will Campbell, and it's pretty much kind of the same thing. Who else were you going to take?
There was a lot of Ashton Genty talk. Ted McMillan.
Yeah, but you had talks like that, but it was like your number one option was always Will Campbell.
Well, I think if Abdul Carter fell, they would have taken Abdul Carter. I truly believe that.
That wasn't going to happen. You knew that wasn't going to happen. And so when I look at those three draft picks, first of all, Elliot Wolf wasn't one of them, and the other two to me were no-brainers. Other than that, what the hell has Elliot Wolf done?
Nothing.
You signed Stephon Diggs.
And little breaking news, speaking of Stephon Diggs, he was limited in Patriots practice today with a new chest injury, so hopefully that's nothing heading into this week against the Titans. I don't think they'll need him to beat the Titans.
No, but I just don't believe in Elliot Wolf, though. Like, you can't make me believe in him. So, obviously, if we're going to take 2 second-round picks and trade for A.J. Brown, I'm all for it because Elliot Wolf can't draft past the first round. And he's proven that in the past 2 years. But then again, knowing Elliot Wolf and knowing that he likes to have all this money and not go sign free agents or not go make big trade moves, I could see him just sitting on his ass doing nothing all day. So I could 100% see, like, I'm all in favor for trade 2 second rounders for A.J. Brown. I don't think that'll happen, though. I don't think we'll be in any conversation. I would love us to. I don't think it will, simply because of him.
All right, well, time will tell. Hopefully we get somebody.
Can we force him into an early retirement and then I'll take over?
Elliot Wolf's like 35, I think. He's a young guy.
Sounds like an old name.
He looks young too, but I think that segues us nicely into our predictions for this week. We go through every single game. Let's start with the Patriots game, and while Josh pulls it up, just because this is the one game we know, I think that's a better way to go about it. Patriots going to Tennessee. Mike Vrabel's first time going back to Tennessee since he was fired. Titans just fired their head coach. I'm expecting them to still blow doors off the Titans, even though with the head coach being fired, you're getting the best version of the Titans, essentially, or the Titans with the most effort this whole season, because they're now playing for like their re-energized rookie quarterback. I want to see them bring back the days like when Bill Belichick was here, and I hate to bring that back up because I want this to be a new thing. Like, I hate bringing up Bill Belichick and Tom Brady in the dynasty. Not that I hate bringing it, just I want to let Mike Vrabel and May make their own thing. I don't like go and do things like they used to do in the old days, like trade away players a year or two before they're out of their prime, so you don't have to pay them a lot of money and be cheap like that. Josh, I don't know what the hell you're wearing.
Bill Belichick.
Literally.
Cut the sleeves off.
Yeah.
But I want them to bring back when the Patriots defense used to just victimize rookie quarterbacks. That's what I want to see them bring that back this week, where they just give Cam Ward the business. So I have the Patriots winning this week. I'm assuming you do as well, Josh. Sara, once again, does not pick the Patriots games.
Nope, I can't.
I'm taking the Titans. I'm kidding.
So what is the Thursday night football game tonight, Josh? It's a stinker, I think.
Bengals.
Thursday night football.
Steelers, Bengals.
Steelers go to Cincinnati.
Yay.
So it's the battle of the old heads. You got Aaron Rodgers versus Joe Flacco. Give me Aaron Rodgers.
I'm taking Aaron Rodgers.
I said Steelers.
So yeah, all the same there.
Sarah's game of the week. The Rams go to Jacksonville.
No,
It's actually in London.
let's go to London.
I'm reading it as it's just the verses. I know they're in a different.
I believe this is the last international game too.
No, there's Berlin.
Okay. So one more week international play. Give me the Rams.
Berlin. Trevor.
Josh, what'd you take?
The Rams.
Trevor. No,
Rams too.
you guys suck.
Eagles go to Minnesota.
Is JJ McCarthy back?
The Eagles coming off a huge loss to Jackson Dart and Cam Scattaboo.
Dude, there's something wrong with that guy.
I love Cam Scatterbo. I would run through a wall for Cam.
His energy, but like
Cam will run through a wall for you.
yeah,
I love him. I love
his energy. I think he's hilarious. And Xander picked him up like a month ago on fantasy and goes, "Yeah, I'm gonna take Scattaboo." I'm like, who?
There is the biggest marketing opportunity for a company out there to do with Cam Scattaboo, and if they don't
the
do
Kool-Aid man becomes Cam Scatterbo.
Really?
no, either like put Cam Scattaboo in a Kool-Aid commercial and have him run through a wall and say, "Oh yeah."
Mm-hmm. I mean, it is exciting the way he and Jackson Dart play. I don't think their play style illustrates a long career, but I hope they have very long and healthy careers. But I think the way they play does not sustain that.
What is he, a running back?
He's a running back, Dart's the QB, and they just drop the shoulder.
QB. But no, I saw like a little skit on TikTok, and it was like a college coach like interviewing, like just doing like a sit down with Scattaboo and his family, and the college interviewer was like, "What's wrong with him?" And they're like, "Oh, like ever since he was like a young child, he just likes to bang his head against things and likes to run into things and try to break down walls, and like we always thought it was abnormal, but we just embraced him and put him in football."
Yeah,
it was actually really funny.
So he's found his niche. What's the next game after the international game?
Oh wait, yeah, I did.
The Eagles go to Minnesota.
I'll take the Eagles.
I'll take the Eagles.
I don't think they lose 3 in a row.
I don't think so. I hope not. I need Saquon to do something. I don't get why they're not giving him the ball.
So this is the thing that happened 2 years ago as well, because they lost their original offensive coordinator from the first time they went to the Super Bowl with Jalen Hurts and Sirianni, who is now the head coach of the Colts. They just this offseason they lost Kellen Moore, who was their OC, who's now the Saints head coach. So I think their offense just struggles until they figure it out, and I think they'll be fine.
Well, I just need points.
This is also a stinker. Ready for this one? The Panthers go to MetLife.
I'll take the Panthers. They're playing the Jets. I don't like the Jets. I hope they go 0-18 or whatever. 0-17.
It's like a pretty evenly matched game. Carolina's predicted to win by 51.5%, and the Jets have 48.1%.
I still think the Panthers win.
Does Rico Dowdle run for
like the greatest running back in the league right now?
Yeah, I know. I was like, thinking about picking him up, but I'm like, I don't want to drop Derrick Henry or Saquon.
Drop a bench scrub. I'm going with the Panthers.
You know, I'm gonna shake it up and go with the Jets.
All right, Jets get their first win of the season.
Yeah, I feel like if it's gonna be one team, it's gonna be against the Panthers.
I don't think the Panthers are that bad.
Another stinker.
Who did you pick, Josh?
Panthers. Another stinker. The Dolphins go to Cleveland. Give me the Browns.
Yeah, give me the Browns. I can't stand Tua. That locker room's imploding on itself. Give me the Browns. Sarah?
I said the Browns.
Oh, Dylan Gabriel is their quarterback.
Who the hell is he?
The guy they drafted before Shedeur in the 3rd round.
Guy out of Oregon.
So has Shedeur even played at all?
Nope.
Another stinker. The Saints go to Chicago.
Chicago.
The what?
The Bears.
Who's the
Bears
first?
or Saints?
Oh, Bears.
Another stinker.
Yeah, it's not good this week.
The Raiders go to Kansas City.
Give me the Raiders. I just fucking hate the Chiefs.
The Raiders.
Raiders.
Chiefs.
Now this is a fun matchup.
So I think
You
I know.
gotta say what you're picking, bro.
I said the Chiefs.
Did you hear him say the Chiefs, Sarah? Okay, maybe it's me.
I think you're just deaf.
I haven't heard you say pick a single game.
I've heard every single one.
I literally said every single one.
I haven't heard a single one. When
I
do you say it? Do you say it at the start or the end?
I say it at the start.
Okay.
This is a fun one. Ready? Indiana Jones goes to Los Angeles.
He's waiting for you to pick.
Yeah.
I'm going Chargers because I need the Colts to lose.
So I have the Colts because the Chargers O-line is just a hospital.
I need the Colts to.
Although
Feed me Lad
Victoria's Secret's fastest week was yesterday, and Madison Beer was on it, so maybe Justin
No, you
Herbert.
said
Okay,
Colts.
I got to go Justin Herbert because of
No,
that.
you said
Because
Colts.
Madison Beer is walking the runway,
No,
That was gibberish. It's the Victoria's Secret fashion show, first
and
of all.
Madison Beer was walking last night.
And don't
So-
even get me started about that because I missed it and I'm so mad.
Well, just so you know, Madison Beer walked, and Justin Herbert is dating Madison Beer.
I know.
So I think he's gonna have superpowers this week. So I'm gonna take Justin Herbert, even though I wanted to take the Colts.
Funny how no matter who the Jags play, I always take them because that's where my guy is. Funny how you don't do the same for Justin.
I love him, but I gotta. I'm playing to not lose another 6-pack this year, Sarah. Okay.
Okay. Whatever you say. Loyalty is worth more than a 6-pack.
I like to be right. What's up? What's next, Josh?
You meet him
Giants.
today, you can say, I have never doubted you.
I literally just talked myself into choosing him, even though for the most existential reasons, because that's my guy. So I don't want to hear it. Josh, what's next?
You didn't even choose the guy because he's your guy. You chose the guy because of his supposed woman he's
Not
looking at.
supposed they were kissing on the sideline last week. His super hot girlfriend.
So you don't care that he's your guy. You just care about his.
He's my guy, and he's got a super hot girlfriend.
Well, if he's your guy, you should have gone with him to begin with.
Yeah. Thank you.
But I gotta pick with my head, not my heart.
No.
Fake.
Mm-hmm.
What's next, Josh?
The Giants go to Denver.
Give me
Denver. No, get Denver. They're gonna shut them down.
give me Scataboo. That's a crazy
go.
name.
Scataboo.
I love it. I'm gonna name my dog that.
Go for it.
Packers go to Arizona.
Packers.
Packers.
The Commanders go to Dallas to go against them boys. I'm taking them boys.
Same.
Yeah,
Sarah, we have not gone one I don't care from you.
she's
That's a-
limited herself to one per episode.
Falcons go to San Francisco.
Niners, even though the Falcons got a huge win. Niners.
Well, Jones is questionable.
Well, I think Brock Purdy's playing.
And then Tom's absolute favorite 2 Monday night games.
I'm so sick of the doubleheader on Monday Night Football because there's no 4 o'clock games, I feel. It's the worst.
The first one is the Buccaneers go to Detroit. I'm taking Detroit.
Detroit.
Buccaneers, 2-minute Mayfield, baby.
And then finally the Texans go to Seattle.
Like, why does this have to be a Monday Night Football game? Just bury it in the 4 o'clock slate.
Also, it's at 10 o'clock.
Really? Give me Seattle, but this is the stupidest thing ever.
And this is where you get my first I don't care.
Yeah.
'Cause
Person only.
I'm not staying up till 1 o'clock in the morning to watch a game between Houston and Seattle.
Mhm.
I'd rather be sleeping, thank you.
Fair. Give me Seattle. Their offense is electric. JSN's playing as the best wide receiver in football right now.
Wait, when are the Patriots play?
So it's Seattle.
All right. That's all the games, Josh?
Yeah.
Just quick score update. Who's winning?
You're up by 3.
Up by 3.
I beat you by 1 last week.
All right. We do them every single week. We
Because
also
you
every single.
took the Bengals over the Packers, you dummy.
Yeah, but you know what? They covered the spread, which is all that really matters in my heart. They weren't winning. They weren't losing by 14. You never know. I figured I'd go with the crazy upset if there was one that was going to happen last week. In my opinion, that was that one. It turned out it was the Eagles game. But you can't always be right. But what we also do every single week after we predict every single game, we go back and we sightsee to figure out which games we would not stop to see and which games we would stop to see. All right, Josh, where do you want to start in sightseeing? What game are you stopping to see?
So I will be taking my dandy little car, and I will be going to Los Angeles once again to go watch Indiana Jones versus the LA Chargers. First of all, the Chargers are a super fun team to watch. They are without Amari and Hampton, which kind of sucks, but Justin Herbert is great. And then the three receivers, you don't know which one of those three receivers is going to go off, in my opinion. It could be McConkey. It could be Johnston. It could be Keenan Allen.
Johnson's
So
right now.
I think he's supposed to come back this week.
I don't know. He's still questionable on my bench.
So it's like kind of like a wild card team where it's like you can show up, have a fun time, you never know what's going to happen. And then, you got flipping Indiana Jones over here, charging his way through to be 5-1 right now.
Why is he Indiana Jones?
He plays for the Colts.
His name is Daniel Jones and he plays in Indiana.
The second I asked the question, it clicked.
So yeah, he's Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I get it.
So yeah, I'm going there because honestly, that's just a fun matchup to watch. I like an unexpected team to be this good against a super fun team to watch in general. I'll buy a ticket to that.
Fair. I don't hate it. I was debating that game as well on mine, but I chose differently. Sarah, which game did you choose?
The Rams Jaguars. I'm gonna be waking up at 9 a.m., getting myself a cup of tea, and tuning into the London games.
So even though that is your team, that should be an exciting game. Both teams 4-1. It should be a good game.
4-2. Both of them
4-2. I don't know why I'm saying 4-1.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
I don't know. Why do you think Drake May has been in the league for 3 years?
Fuck if I know. I call him Mac all the time too. I can't tell you what's wrong with my brain.
Fair enough. The game I'll be stopping to see. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Detroit Lions. Sunday Night Football. I think this is a potential preview for the NFC Championship game. And the the Buccaneers, they don't play boring football games. All of their games this year have been exciting. Their biggest margin of victory was 16 over the 49ers last week. So they play fun football games. And Baker Mayfield, in my opinion, is the MVP of the league right now. So marquee matchup, in my opinion.
They do have a decent amount of injuries right now, though.
So Godwin's out, Abuka's out, Bucky Irving is out. But Baker Mayfield's been going out there and playing just as well with Sterling Shepard, Tex, whatever the hell his last name is. I don't know, the rookie who thought they were chanting MVP for him. So I think that game should be fun regardless. So let's go back through. Let's go snake draft. The game I will not be stopping to see, Panthers-Jets. The Jets suck. They are the worst team in football, in my opinion. And I hope the Panthers blow them out so bad that the Patriots can go and get Breece Hall for a fortune cookie, because I want him very bad for very little. So I would not watch that game if you were paying me to watch it.
Me personally, I'm not going to watch any game that isn't the Patriots and the Jags. So.
All right. So we're not going to watch a single 4:00 game.
No.
You heard her here first. Unless you're the Jags or the Patriots, you are boring.
All right. Josh, what game are you not going to stop and watch?
So on my way back from Los Angeles, I'll probably have to take 2 flights because it's a trip from Boston to LA. It's probably a 2-flight trip, I'd say. So I'm going to take a plane from. It might be. I don't know. Shut up. Let me have my fun. I'm going to take a plane. And I'm going to stop in Cleveland. But then I'm immediately going to get back on another plane because I don't want to spend a second in Cleveland because I do not want to see the Dolphins play the Browns. I don't.
Yeah, the game's going to be terrible.
You have an abysmal, awful, unhappy offense in the Dolphins. And then you just have a horrible offense in the Browns. But you have a great defense in the Browns. So it's just going to be Tua throwing picks every 2 seconds, fumbling the ball. Maybe A-Chain will find a way to score. Maybe. But then the Browns are just that bad at offense that it's like, what are you going to do on offense? Like, you're not going to do anything. Like, it's just going to be back and forth, back and forth. You're going to be going like this every 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Fair. It's going to be a terrible game. What's up? All right, that's sightseeing. We do it every single week. We look around the NFL games coming up, the games we want to watch and the games we don't want to watch. Sarah doesn't want to watch anything that's not Patriots Jags, so she'll be in bed by 3:30, 4 o'clock on Sunday.
Probably. Actually, no, I want to go shopping.
Huh?
I want to go shopping.
Well, that's why that's the open.
Get in the car. We're going shopping.
That's why that's part of the open.
Sales are going on in Martha's Vineyard, and I need a raincoat, so...
Sarah needs a raincoat. Write it down.
You got it.
I wore Xander's raincoat the other day to school because we were going on a field trip to the fire station. And I had a 4-year-old child look at me and go, "You smell like fish." And I was like, "Thank you." Because the rain cap that I grabbed was Xander's fishing coat. And it had fish guts all over it.
Yummy.
So
It's a hard worker right there. Speaking of raining, we got to switch over to the Boston Celtics, who I don't think will be raining as many threes down this season because they don't have my GOAT, my Pookie Bear, my Jason Tatum, because he tore his Achilles last year. But they start their season on Wednesday. And Josh, I think there's two questions you have to ask yourself as a Celtics fan this year. When is Tatum back? And how does Joel Mazzulla look without the best roster in the NBA?
What do you want to start with?
So if it comes to when Tatum comes back, Tatum is on a historic pace to come back. The fastest somebody's ever come back from an Achilles injury in the NBA was Wesley Matthews in the mid-2010s. Took him 237 days from the day he injured it to the day he came back and played. Kobe came back in 240 some odd days. He only played like 6 or so games that season, but he came back in 240 days. Tatum was around that pace. At day 150, he was posting videos of himself dunking off of 2 and, not gingerly landing. So he's doing that, which I can't imagine is that early in the Achilles recovery process. He was walking around during Patriots training camp with no boot on it. He wasn't using crutches, and Tyrese Halliburton was still using crutches like 6 weeks ago. So I think he's really on a historic pace. So I think Tatum, if he's going to stick to that pace where it's the 237 days, 240 days out, I think he could be back early January. That puts him right around 237 days. January 4th would be that 237th day. And the Celtics have a series of 4 home games middle of January. I think it's the 7th, 8th, 10th, and 11th, or somewhere around then. They play 4 straight home games, ending with the Raptors and I believe the Spurs. I think that mid-January, Tatum has already said he wants to come back this season, and he's already said it wants to be first game back at TD Garden. Why not bring him back against a team like the Raptors, they always play you tough, but not the most competitive roster in the NBA. I think that could be a really good game. You bring him back mid-January, have him play every other game, have him on a minutes restriction so he can ramp up until March, April, when you kind of bring him back full speed, ready to go for a playoff run. That's in my mind how I think this goes, Josh, with Jason Tatum.
I think you're on the right track, I think. Mid-January, I know you said because Wesley Matthews and Kobe did it that early. I still think it is it might be a little bit of a stretch to bring him back that early. But then again, you're seeing the rehab process he's going through. It's absolutely insane. So I don't blame you for thinking that. I think my prediction is the All-Star break. I think the All-Star break is like the perfect time to bring him back. Maybe even
post All-Star break or pre All-Star break?
I would go pre. Just because we know Jason Tatum's not going to be an All-Star this year because of the injury. He's not going to. So I think maybe if you throw him in there while things are kind of all over the place, take that break, relax, get the team together, because that's genuinely the time where you can get your team together without having a game in between and really ruin the progress that you're trying to put your team back together to where it was a year ago. Obviously, if you just throw them in there after the All-Star break, it's going to be a colossal mess. You're not going to get enough time to really put your team back together. You're going to have a game this day, next day, probably the day after if you have a back-to-back game. So I think the pre-All-Star break is perfect for the Jason Tatum return. And I think he's projected, people are saying he's projected to come back at that time. So I think you bring him back a week or two before the All-Star break, get the team comfortable with each other again, introduce the new guys to Tatum and how they play with each other, like Gonzalez, Garza, Boucher, those guys see how they roll with Tatum as well. But then once the All-Star break comes, it's like, all right, we're all here together. Let's take advantage of the time we have. Let Jaylen Brown and Derek White go play in the All-Star game if they want to. Let's take this time to regroup and let's restructure the team right now, because this is how things are going to go. Especially because I think I don't know if you have a straight prediction. What do you see the Celtics roster as though right now? Which we can kind of turn that into the other question of how Joe Mazzulla does right now. But how do you see this team right now? Do you see this team as a tanking team, a contending team, or like a play-in at best?
It really depends, because if Tatum's going to come back this season mid-January, they're contending. They're absolutely contending in a weak East.
Here, let me reframe it then. Without Tatum,
Without Tatum, they are a
Right now,
Play-in team, I wish they were tanking.
I disagree with you. I don't think they're a contending team, but I think they're between a play-in team and a contending team.
Okay, well, you're either contending or you're a play. Like, if you're not one of those top 3 seeds, you're not contending. And they're not a top 3 seed in my mind.
I'll say contending then.
All right, I don't think they're contending without Tatum.
I think they could very well get that 4th seed. I'm not saying they are. If I had to put money on it, if I had to put money and like my life on it, I go the 6th seed.
All right. I think that's when you say contending, I think NBA champion or bust.
Yes.
Yeah, they could be a top half seed of the East. It could be the East this week. You have the Cavs and the Knicks and a bunch of nobodies. The Pistons, I think, will be a high seed this year because the Pacers are going to be nothing. I think the Bucks are done with that. I think the Bucks are going to lose Giannis at some point this season, or if not this season, this is his last season as a Milwaukee Buck.
Well, then, all right. Let me reframe it a second time. Do you think this is a playoff bound team? Like, do you think this is 100% a playoff team or not?
Without Tatum, they're a playoff team. The East is that weak.
Then we agree.
You have a young Magic team, a young Pistons team. You have the Knicks and the Cavs, and then the Bucks. You could say that's 5 right there. Okay, Celtics slot in at 6.
I don't know about the Bucks.
Yeah, I would just you know what? Even though I'm not too high on them, they still have Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's a top 5 player in the world.
I'd put the Hawks over the Bucks.
Nah, I can't stand Trae Young.
No, I'd put the Bucks. I'd put the Hawks over the Bucks any day. You know the off-season moves they made? They have too many.
I mean, yeah, okay. If Tingus is healthy, maybe, but that's such an if.
But to go back to the Celtics, though, I think this team is still competitive with Brown, White, Pritchard, Hauser, and I think Keita's the center right now. I'm pretty sure it's Keita, not Boucher yet.
But even then, they're big. They can't win a championship with this big man with Tatum. I don't think they can with this the center rotation they have. I don't think they can. You're telling me that Luka Garza is going to go? Luka Garza, no. Xavier Tillman, or Chris Boucher are going to go out there and match up against Evan Mobley or Karl-Anthony Towns or Jokic or Chet? No, not happening.
But do you think they'll be able to win it with Tatum, even with that center being awful?
No, even with Tatum, I don't think they have it.
Ooh,
and I love Tatum, but even with Tatum, I don't think they have the roster this year. I just don't. Unless Mazzulla comes out with like some of the greatest coaching chops I've ever seen in my entire life, I don't think they have it.
I think there's a chance. I don't think you can zero out on it yet because
Tatum is the greatest American player in the world.
Sure.
Tatum is legitimately, when healthy, a top 3 player in the world, and you can't change my mind. Legitimately a top 3 player, and he's the greatest American player in the world right now. He's named the American basketball player better than Tatum. Anthony Edwards.
You can't say right now when he's not playing.
When Tatum is healthy, he's the best American player in the world.
Then I think if he's the greatest player in the entire world, then he needs to take his recovery seriously and not just get back because he wants to get back.
I am imagining he's taking it extremely seriously if he's at the stage he's already at.
But I don't think you should come back early just to come back early. I think that'd be stupid.
Well, I'm sure Tatum doesn't have the NBA record in mind. I looked that up because I was curious. I'm sure he is. As soon as he's healthy, he wants to be back because that's how Tatum is. Tatum is not he is not a modern NBA superstar where he load manages, he takes games off. Tatum wants to play every single game, regardless of it's on primetime ESPN at 8:00 against the Oklahoma City Thunder, or if it's a Sunday matinee 1:00 against the Charlotte Hornets on NBA League Pass, because he wants to play every single game, because he has that mindset that somebody in this town is paying hard-earned money to come watch me play. I have to go out there and play.
Okay. I'm over basketball.
I'll send you the clip, Sarah, if you don't believe me.
I just don't care.
I'm all for Jason Tatum returning this year. The only thing I am cautious of is that I only want Tatum to return if he's 100% healthy. Nothing less. I don't want like a minute restriction type of type of thing where it's like, okay, so he's very close to being 100%, but he's not 100% yet. I want him at 100% because this is the cornerstone player of your franchise for the next decade, and I do not want to risk a single ounce of that just to have an extra week or two of Tatum or an extra month of Tatum. If I have to sacrifice, because God forbid Tatum re-tears this Achilles, God forbid he goes back into another huge injury like this, then he's toast. Then it might be in the conversation, can he come back the same?
Mm-mm.
But I only want him 100% because I'm okay with sacrificing 1 month of no Jason Tatum Celtics basketball if that means that I get to ensure that the next 10 decades of Celtics basketball has Jason Tatum on it, and we're not like we
Well,
didn't
10
get rid of
decades
him.
is 100 years, so.
Decade is 10 years.
You said the next 10 decades.
I just said the next decade.
I heard next 10 decades. But either way,
but
I wouldn't be worried about that, Josh, because the Celtics medical staff is not going to let him go unless he is 1,000%, because Billy Chisholm is not going to risk his investment. He spent $6 billion on this team because they have Jason Tatum.
That's the point. I'm 100% with it. So I don't want to hear like any kind of we're going to let him play, but on minutes restriction. I only want him in if he's 100%, because God forbid one more injury, and then it's like, can Jason Tatum come back the same, or is it like a potential thing in a couple of years where we have to get rid of him, and then boom, there goes our next decade franchise because we decide to play Jason Tatum a week earlier than we should have. So yeah, I'm all for him returning, but do it when he's 100%.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be cautious with it. I'm sure he'll be on a minute restrictions and play, every other day, or he won't play back-to-back, so he'll load manage or whatever you want to say. But with the season coming up Wednesday, besides when Tatum is back, the biggest question is, what type of coach is Joe Mazzulla? Because whether you want to, I don't think you can argue that he hasn't had to do much coaching. He's had the best roster in the NBA ever since he came into the head coach, and that weird situation where Ime Udoka was fired 2 weeks before the season started, and Joe Mazzulla was the interim then hired full-time. So what does he look like as a coach, Josh, when he doesn't have a top 10 NBA roster of all time on, arguably one of the greatest teams of all time was that Celtics championship team, Josh. What does he look like when he doesn't have that? Because in my opinion, he has been a little lackluster as a coach when he hasn't had that. That first year against the Miami Heat, we've gone back and forth, Josh. They shouldn't have lost that Heat team whatsoever. And even this year, this Knicks teams, they were better than this Knicks team. Now, I will give him a break because they missed a historic amount of threes in that series. So I cut him a little slack there. That's just the philosophy coming back to bite you in the rear end.
I don't think he's going to really change a thing about him. Joe Mazzulla
has to change a little bit.
But what though? What is he going to change?
I just don't. They don't have the roster where they can shoot as many threes this season. They don't. Having Kristaps Porzingis allowed him to run that philosophy because he could stretch the floor 35 feet back. You have to switch things up a little bit.
You're missing one player on that shooting three philosophy. Your starting lineup is now Pritchard, White, Brown, Hauser, and Queta. One of those guys can't shoot a three, and
so he's gonna have to change his philosophy a bit.
I don't think he's. I don't think he's gonna change it drastically.
You want to see Queta posted up in the corner?
Well, no, I'm not going to see him huck one from the corner, but I'm not going to say that you're not going to see Brown, White, and Pritchard huck up threes every.
Those guys are still going to shoot a lot of threes. Don't get it twisted. But having every single guy, the goal be to get the 2-on-1s, space the floor, and chuck threes, that's not going to be that shouldn't be the philosophy this season. And he's been asked about this a ton going into the season. He's gotten pretty pissed off about it when having to be asked, hey, are you going to shoot as many threes? And he just kept saying, we're going to look to attack 2-on-1s. I think they need to become more of a, let's find the right matchup we want to exploit on the offensive side of the ball rather than drive, kick, pass, shoot.
Well, if you watch their games last year, it's not even just Kristaps Porzingis stretching the floor. Kristaps Porzingis played a lot of time down low, and Kristaps Porzingis was also injured. So who had to replace him? Luke Cornett and Al Horford. Al Horford could shoot a three every now and then. Luke Cornett couldn't do it for the life, and so the two of them still played down low. So even when you have Porzingis in, you're still playing Porzingis down low, and then for half the season, you don't have Porzingis. You're still playing big man down low, which Joe Mazzulla, I think, executed perfectly with Cornett and Al Horford both in there. Sure, you don't have the two same guys in there, so the production might be worse. You're making a stupid-ass face right now.
What is he not?
But I don't think... I think you're so wrong when you say Joe Mazzulla is an underachieving coach, and that...
Well, yes or no, when Ime's here, do they win more than one championship with this roster? I think they do. I don't think they lose to that Heat team if Ime's here. Yes or no, is Ime a better coach than Joe Mazzulla?
No.
I think he is.
No.
I mean, hey, we'll see. The Rockets in the West, we'll see what they accomplish this year. I think Ime is a better coach. And we'll see what the Celtics with their season tipping off Wednesday. Jaylen Brown injured himself last night in preseason. I'm sure he'll be fine. But real quick, before we get out of here, do we have a Madden game this week, Josh? All right. So let's do the Madden game real quick before we get out of here. So every week, Sarah and I don't play Madden. I could not be asked to play Madden on the Xbox or PlayStation, whatever you play it on. I don't care for it anymore. But what Josh does every single week is he gives us the overall for the quarterback, wide receiver 1, 2, and 3, running back, and tight end. And Sarah and I have to attempt to guess that team based on the roster. Last week, was it the Patriots, Josh?
I gave you the Patriots last week.
Last week it was the Patriots. We're currently kicking Josh's ass in this game, Sarah and I. I believe we were up 4-2 in this game.
Yeah,
So-
we're not doing well.
No, we're winning.
Oh, we are
Yes.
So here,
not doing well in this.
I just sent it to the group chat. Here you go. Here's your team. You have a 78 overall QB with an 86 overall wide receiver 1, 76 overall wide receiver 2, a 70 overall wide receiver 3, a tight end with a 76, and an 80 running back.
All right, so immediately looking for a team with a running back, and this is as of today, so this could be backups, but I'm looking for a team that has a running back that is better than the quarterback. Is the first thing I look at.
As of today.
Jags. We already had the Jags.
I would not potentially Raiders because they don't have a wide receiver 1 that would be that high. Dolphins and Browns both have. Dolphins and Browns would both have higher. What's up?
The Bucks?
I think Baker Mayfield will be rated higher.
That's what I was thinking too.
Maybe the Saints with Alvin Kamara back there and Spencer Rattler as the QB. I could see that.
Maybe I could see that too.
Potentially the Saints.
Wait, fuck! I just had a team. What about the Lions? Jared Goff would be rated much higher.
I think Jameer would be rated higher. I think the Broncos. You have Bo Nix.
Yeah.
You have Cortland Sutton, and then you have like Marvin Mims and a bunch of nobodies. I don't hate the Broncos as an idea.
What about the Colts?
Jonathan Taylor would be higher than an 80.
Okay. I'm trying to think quarterback.
Maybe maybe the Seahawks, but I think JSM would be higher.
Maybe.
Than an 86.
Maybe.
So like going through it again, I like the Broncos the best as a guess.
What about the Falcons?
Bijan would be higher. Bijan is disgusting.
Oh, right, yes. See, I say the names just because I can't think exactly who their top backs are and stuff like that.
But like J.K. Dobbins could be an 80, Bo Picks could be 78, and I think Cortland Sutton could be an 86.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I don't really have a better guess. I mean, I don't think Cam Scatterbo is an 80 overall yet, or Jackson Dart's a 78. But I know Josh likes to pick a team based on like what happened in the week. But I don't think they have an 86 overall wide receiver in there besides Malik Neighbors and the Giants. And Malik Neighbors is injured. So I'm going to go with the Broncos for my final guess, Sarah.
I'm fine with that.
All right, Josh, our final guess is the Broncos.
This is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Really?
This is the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's DK Metcalf at 86. That's Jalen Warren at 80. Aaron Rodgers is a 78.
Wow. How the mighty on.
I think if I go back, let me look up Rodgers' rating. His rating actually might have been like an 80 originally, and it might have dropped because he's... No, Aaron Rodgers' rating actually increased. He was a 77 to begin with, and now he's a 78.
One's nothing. Wow. That is... Hey, props to you. You tricked us. I really thought it was going to be the Broncos. But then again, Jalen Warren is a running back I really respect.
And then the three nobodies that Tom claims is Calvin Austin at wide receiver 2, Scotty Miller at wide receiver 3, and Darnell Washington at tight end.
Somebody, because he's freaking massive as an individual, bro. He is a huge human being. He's like 6'7". He's giant, bro. He is a giant. I'm not gonna do that. We do that every single week. 4-3 right now. We have a 1-point lead over Josh, Sarah. We got to pick it up a little bit. The thing is we got to remember what teams he uses because he can't reuse the teams, and I couldn't tell you half the teams he's used so far is the bigger issue.
I'm not telling you. Maybe I'll repeat a team.
I think Can you repeat one of my teams?
Wait, we missed the Jags. We missed the Jags.
Jags.
I did. I missed the Jags, and I'm really mad at myself.
I still have all of the I have
the
all
pictures saved.
Pictures saved. So let me go back to the Jags one. Let me look at the ratings.
So we do that every single week. We sightsee every single week, and we
yeah.
always make sure we set the tone with Sarah at the very start of the show. That's going to wrap up this episode of the Duck Boat Dispatch, episode 22. The Patriots are currently number 1 in the AFC East. Basketball is going to start up again soon. The Bruins are 3-1 on a hot. We're going to talk a lot of basketball, Sarah. The Bruins are on a hot streak. Just learn to love the game. It's a beautiful game. It's an art form. It's a great game. The Bruins are 3-1.
I just don't. Not my thing.
All right, the Bruins are 3-1. The Red Sox are in the offseason. Alex Bregman opted out of his contract, so we'll see what happens there. Maybe he resigns, maybe he goes elsewhere. But things are looking up in the world of Boston sports. 6 months ago, when Tatum tore his Achilles, we were down in the dumps. And now, we are flying high. We are flying so high that we are number 1 in the AFC East. Celtics going to come back, and Tatum's going to be healthy soon. And the Bruins are surprisingly hot. So we'll keep talking all that every single week. Duck Boat Dispatch episodes found on YouTube, clips on Instagram at the Duck Boat Dispatch. We have a TikTok as well, which we need to start posting more on. And you can follow us on Spotify as well if you want more of an audio podcast. If you don't like to look at it video-wise, if that's more your thing, the audio version is there. So, like, comment, subscribe, be a friend, tell a friend. And we'll be back next week for when the Patriots hopefully move up a little bit in the AFC rankings.